Hey, what's up, guys? Mark Jennison here, and I'm excited to share some information with you today, right now. And I want to thank you guys for showing up on here, spending some time with me, and just basically going through this, right? Let's just be honest. You don't show up to a web class, a webinar, a transformation session, whatever you want to call it, if you didn't, especially one called How Do You Stay Sober, even if you tried and failed before, right? You don't just do that unless there's something calling you to get there. So I want to thank you, first of all, for jumping on and actually taking the first step, because it can be difficult. I mean, these aren't topics that people, they're not sexy, they're not cool, they're not great things to talk about. However, it's the reality of life. So I'm going to jump into the transformation seminar, the web class, whatever you want to call it, of how to stay sober, even if you tried and failed before. And I know a thing or two about failure on saying clean and sober, because I had 7 major relapses. We're going to go through that right now, dissect it, and hopefully get you some valuable content to take away and start working on things. So here's the deal. My promise to you is that if you stay to the end of this web class, I'm going to guarantee you that I'm going to give you some strategies, some tips just to stay sober, even if you failed before. Maybe this is your first time. We can help you stay from that failure. But if you've been on that same road of insanity where you're trying and things are falling off, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that I've used to help. I'm about to celebrate 2.5 years clean and sober, which has been amazing. And I'm going to give that to you for free if you stay to the end of this webinar. But I'm going to need your attention, okay? I need, literally, if you're serious about getting clean, so if you're serious about this, because I get messages all night long where people are on Facebook, they're texting me literally every hour or so. Someone new is reaching out, and boom, 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 right? They're going through the same struggle. If this is truly important to you, then shut everything off, right? We just put everything on airplane mode so that I can't be getting any calls. I'm going to give you my attention. So please do the same for yourself. Not just for me, but do it for you, right? Close out the web pages, put away whatever you got going on. If you need to catch this later, just make sure you go back to this, whatever it may be, because this could be literally the most intense, the most serious next 45 to 60 minutes of your life that might make a transformation for you, that you can hopefully get some change. So get rid of that stuff and let's move on. Who's this for? Well, it's for me at some point, right? But now that it's me up here sharing the stage and talking about these things, this is actually for men that are currently struggling. And I hate the word struggling, but it's just the reality of it, right? You've tried and you've tried, and you're trying to stay clean, you're trying to stay sober. This is for you, okay? Well, many of you guys that have tried to quit but failed and just gave up, right? You made it you put together 8, 9, 10 months, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 days, maybe 3, 4 years. I don't know what it is, but there was a failure and you didn't keep going. This is for you as well. Or how about you guys that have sober time, but you're looking for more? Right? You've been attending the meetings, working the 12-step program. You're going through I don't want to give away too much yet, but you're going through the daily motions of just basically beating this addiction, but you know there's more out there, right? You know you're given a mind, a body, and a lifetime, but you don't want to be in this addiction for the life. This is for you that's looking to thrive more. And this is literally for guys, because I was one of them, that was afraid to ask for help. I would sit and look for something like this on the internet and just wait for someone to give me the answers. I wanted the answers that I didn't want to go get. I was afraid. So this is definitely for you. And I know that you're watching this. You fit in one of those 4 categories, and let's get on to it. So for those of you guys that follow me, my name is Mark Jennison, as you know. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm better known as the comeback coach right now. So I started this off right now. It's my son, Phoenix. To me, right at Bucks game a few weeks ago. But, we put Super Dad here first because literally my why, my purpose, the reason that I got alive, the reason that I stayed clean and sober, the reason that I really wanted to make this happen was for this kid. The kid means everything to me every day of my life, every minute. I'm constantly striving to give him more. And that's what I found something, I wanted to be that man that I didn't really have. Not saying anything bad about my dad, but I wanted more than what he gave me. He did his best. And so I really thrive at being a super dad. Then I put faith oriented because I tell you what, everything in my life changed when I accepted God, when I accepted the fact that, hey, I couldn't do this on my own. Actually, I'll tell you a story about it real quick. I was laying in a hospital bed at a rehab, and there's a guy that's got, scabies or whatever, sharing the room with me. He's 55, 60 years old or whatever. I'm laying on this bed. There's no fan. There's no air in there. It stinks. I got a window that doesn't open, and I look over and this guy's scratching his ass, right? And not that he's a bad person, but I'm watching, I'm going, this is what my life became. And I roll over and I started crying, and I told God right there, hey, I can't do this on my own. So my faith has gotten stronger. And I'd love to tell you that at that point, things changed and I was cured. However, I had to work on it. That wasn't the case, right? But now every decision I make is faith-based, okay? I've been battling this addiction for 21 years, right? So it actually would have been 23 and a half years, almost 24 years had I not got clean and sober, or not got sober. But I've been battling for 21 years, and I beat this thing daily. I just like you, I go through the ups, I go through the downs. There's a struggle for myself, but it's on a different level now. And I'm kicking the shit out of this thing every single day. And if I can do it, so can you. I also created an alternative recovery program, okay, that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But this is for those of you guys that maybe don't like going to the meetings or don't like putting your life around the addiction. I've created something that worked for me and has worked for hundreds of other men. As you can see, I've helped over 100 people stay clean and sober in the past year, right? Just in this past year that I was doing it. And here's the thing, I wasn't even trying to do it. It just showed up. I started helping people and boom. And I could go on and on and on about my accomplishments and my accolades as far as building businesses and all these things. But I just want to tell you that by standing here talking to you in front of this camera, I'm just like you. At one point, I was just like you. I just wanted more out of my life. And if I can do it, you can do it. That's why I call myself the comeback coach. So why am I doing this? Well, let me tell you why. When I got out of rehab and I relapsed and I lost everything and I had to come back, and I was set to go work the program and I was doing all these things, I found that my life worked really well when I worked very hard on what I was trying to work on, right? And then I found that I was an overachiever in certain areas. So I found that the reason I need to do this is because I had something in me that needed to be shared with people. There's a reason why I haven't died so many, and all the times I could have died. There's a reason why, I got this voice and why I've got thousands of followers inside of 1 year. It's a reason why I seem to attract these people. So I knew that I wanted what other people had. There was other coaches out there. I sought them out. I paid for them. I found a mentor. I took my money in exchange for their advice, for their information. And I saw, hey, you know what? I want to be like them. So now I'm on the spot right now where I'm up here and I'm like, hey, I need to do this for you because it's my duty. It's my purpose to share my story. If it inspires you and changes you, then great, right? It's going to be up to you. I want to give you every tool that I can to help you succeed in your life in every way you can, right? Not just in the addiction, but in everyday life. So I want to actually talk real quick about 3 people that I've helped. These guys they're actually, I've got a bunch of clients, bunch of students, bunch of friends, but these guys are really more in my tight-knit crew every day. These are guys that I've made a really impact in their life. This is my buddy, Rhino Smith. I met him from the automotive industry from my previous company that I had, but he battled addiction. He battled addiction for 20 years. Okay. He was addicted to cocaine, alcohol, ecstasy. We talk to him now. The dude is just full. He's on fire for God. He's on fire for transformation. He's on fire for living the life that he wanted. And, he's completely changed around. Like, I also put in here in tremendous physical shape. This is him and I right here. Kind of look like we could be brothers. I'm just not as tall, but the way that the guy's body right now, the way that he's in shape, the way that I've watched him over the past 6-7 months change himself. The dude's in amazing shape and he's in his 40s, right? He's a loving father, a husband. He's killing it at what he does. He just started an online fitness business. He, less than a year and a half ago, he was in this pit. He was at the devastation point and he's mastered and battled back. Dear friend of mine, he's doing great. Another guy is my buddy, Jerome Henderson, right? He struggled. He's an inner city guy. Struggled with alcohol from a young age. I think he's got about 8 months clean and sober. I know a couple months ago was his 6th month. But he rebuilt this relationship with his girlfriend. He's rebuilding and establishing. He's been fired from his job a couple times, but he got back on the path. He comes up here and meets with me every single Thursday, and the dude is just charging, right? He's fully on fire for his life. He had the depths of the hell burning at him every day and he couldn't get out. And now he's just on fire. He's focused. He's currently building an online business. He's trying to find his way, right? He's about to enter this entrepreneur lifestyle, but he's doing it clean and sober. The dude's made impacting, long-lasting change in his life, and it's been great to see. This is my buddy Jacob Suhaki, or you can call him Sukaki, however you want to do it, right? But that's the right way to. So here's the deal. Jacob struggled with some opiates. He struggled with that. He's pretty much been dead. He's been in and out of jail a bunch of times. I'm not just saying that. Like, literally, we've had some conversations because I got to know this man over the past few years because I think he's got just about a year of sobriety underneath his belt. But inside of that year, I watched him because he's part of this comeback movement you guys are going to hear about. But he's also part of my business, part of my family. He knows my kid. He knows my partner, Kevin. He knows everything about my life. We work together on a daily basis. But what's really cool to see this guy do is fight through his pit every day. Now, this is a guy from a completely different walk of life than me, right? But he came in, we had one common bond together, and the dude was able to establish not only just beating this addiction, go through these court cases, hold his head clean and above water, make some money, and also put together his family, which honestly, I never told him this, but I thought it was a lost cause when he came in, right? Because of the hell that he was in. And all of a sudden, the dude started doing the right thing. He was, being motivated, being upbeat, being positive, showing up, surrounding with the right people. I mean, there's more to it than that. And all of a sudden, his family got put back together. Now the dude's thriving, right? And he's instrumental in my business. He helps me every day. And I'm sure if you talk to him, he would tell you if he could do it, you could do it as well. This is important for you because you know what? We have what you want. I heard that when I walk into these meetings I used to go to. If I could give you what I had, right? I wish I could give you what I had, but you have to do it for yourself. Now, the reason that I say this is important is because you didn't stay this long because you don't want something. You have the ability to make change. You were born with a mind. You're born with a body. You're born with the ability to make a change. And it's going to be up to you. I know that success leaves clues, and that if you will just learn to open up and keep an open mind, you can make something change. So this is important for you because you know what? You truly want change, right? You've looked in the mirror. You didn't like what you saw. Maybe you didn't look in the mirror. Maybe you just sat in this pit in the garage by yourself, drinking Jameson, texting me at 3 a.m. True story, right? But you're at a spot in your life where you don't want that anymore. You want this to last. You want to smile. You want to have positivity in the world. This is important to you because I can give it to you. I can help you, but you have to give it to yourself. So here's what we're going to do on this webinar. We're going to go through 3 secrets. I'm going to read them off to you real quick. Secret number 1, you're going to learn why your addiction doesn't have to be a disease and how thinking it is actually hurts you. Again, these are my thoughts. These are my secrets. Secret number 2, find out the real reason why you became addicted. And secret number 3, discover what you need to do to stay clean and sober forever. So secret number 1, learn why your addiction doesn't have to be a disease and how thinking it hurts you. Most of us thought, and I was like this as well. Most of us thought, and do you remember when you were thinking the same thing? Most of us thought that our addictions were a disease. We were told it's a disease. Everywhere you jump on the internet, because I did it the other day, I was Googling, is addiction a disease? Is alcoholism a disease, right? We were told that so much that we started believing it. Now, my thought on that, and I'll get to in a minute, is that maybe it is a disease that comes, that we get, but it's not something we catch, right? It's a self-made disease. But I'm going to switch over in a couple minutes. Many of us think that just the way we are, right? We can't change. This is who I am. I've been doing this for so long. Many of us think that we just have to focus every day. Like this is for you guys that have a little bit of clean and sober, a little bit of sobriety time. You're white knuckling it. You're trying to get through it, but you think, you know what? The most important thing for me today is that I beat this addiction, right? I get up every day and I beat this. I go to a meeting. I eat the same food. I go to my work. I work in the factory. I clock in. I trade my time for dollars. I live in this prison that they didn't tell me was a prison, which is basically beating this addiction. And that's just not the case, right? It's completely false. The addiction industry has been lying to us, right? They wanted to give us labels. I'm not one to talk about big pharma and all this stuff, but the truth is they want to call you a alcoholic. They want to call you a drug addict. They want to tell you all these things because there's a big money, right? There's big opportunities for advancement in global movements and careers and all these different things for people, right? And the truth is the labels don't help you. They hurt you. The minute you start believing, I got a disease, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a junkie, I'm suicidal, depressed loser, and you start hurting yourself, you're feeding right into what they want. You're giving them what they want, right? There is more to life than just living with the addiction. You can strive for more. One of the biggest things you have to understand is that yes, we have something, and I look at it this way. My addiction, my struggles, once I was able to turn them into a positive mindset and make a change and look at the labels that they were giving me and say, that's not who I am. I don't want to be known as that. I really was able to then make a switch and have this positive lifestyle, make an impact, make things change for myself. The truth is, you don't have to live your life by any label. You have to stop right now and start looking for the future. Start becoming who you want to be. Secret number 2, you're going to find out the real reason why you became addicted. And this is one that I had to think about for a while. I actually went to bed last night thinking about it, where I was like, man, what was the real reason I got addicted? Was it the fact that my mom and dad got a divorce? Was it because I had some friends that just robbed a liquor store and had a bunch of beer and we decided to drink some Zimas when we were 13 years old, right? Like all these things start popping up. I mean, I was searching for these answers. So let's get into it. Most men think their addiction was something they were born with, right? That was my thought when I looked down the lineage of the generation. You know, my Uncle Mike, on my mom's side of the family, there's a bunch of people who struggled with addiction, who labeled themselves. As a matter of fact, they've actually died. This thing has claimed them, right? because they couldn't see the way out. They couldn't see that light at the end of the tunnel. Most of us think that it's okay to use just because everyone else did. And that's just society standard, right? You get off work. It's okay. You work in construction, because I used to work construction. 3:30, you get your check. The next thing you know, you're at the bar, you're at the local watering hole, you're doing some drinking. 4:35 rolls around, you're picking up some cocaine, you haven't showered, you blow off your girlfriend or wife, whatever. The next thing you know, you're going out for the night, you don't give a shit anymore. It's just acceptable, okay? The truth is that's just not acceptable. It's the furthest thing from it, okay? This is not generational. This is something that we chose. And how do we choose it, right? We watch the lineage of men before you handle their pain with alcohol. So whether it's in your thoughts, whether it's your forefathers, whether it's your dad, whether it's your uncle. For me, it was my uncle, right? I watched him be able to build these massive companies, do really well for himself. Yet at the same time, he was struggling with an addiction that we didn't even realize that he had. And nobody realized it, right? He was just drinking and partying. He was the life of the party, but I would never label him as an addict or something like that. But the truth is, I just watched what he did. And I'm like, okay, that's acceptable. He can still make money. He can be the man that he wants. He can provide for the family because it's okay. And we watch these things, and then all of a sudden life hits us because it gets tough. And you're like, okay, well, I started off drinking because I thought it was cool because I watched him do it, and I had some fun. All of a sudden my problems are getting a little bit deeper, right? Maybe you can't talk to girls. Maybe the job's not right. Maybe the relationship you're in is falling apart. So you start really just advancing into the drinking. You lay it on yourself. All of a sudden that you're becoming dependent on it. It's not that it's a disease. It becomes like this best friend that's never going to give up on you. It's always a call away. I mean, you could get a beer anywhere, right? Or you could go get a drug. You can get whatever your type of drugs right now anywhere. If I wanted to go get them, I could get them. It becomes so accessible in our mind. We start telling ourselves we have a disease. We start believing these things. But the truth is, we can change that. Look, I believe that you can't build new belief systems, positive belief systems. You can't reframe your mind to think the right way, to think like this yet, until you completely let go of these things, these thoughts, the stuff that's been holding you back, the pain and coping with this, right? If you look at it like it's a disease, you can't build positive stuff on top of it. So one of the steps you got to do right now is make a decision to believe and cut out all the stuff. Start reframing the positive mindset. Start looking at life from a different angle. Start looking at the disease as it's completely not holding you back, as cutting that chain. Secret number 3 is discover what you need to do to stay sober forever. And this is ultimately why you came here, right? It's almost the same line of the webinar, right? It's the top the headline or whatever, right? This is what you really want. The other secrets are cool, but this is what you really want. We all want long-lasting sobriety. We all want the piece of that good life. We all want to feel better every day. Most of us think, dude, in order to get that, because we've been told for so long, I think it was like 1930 or 35 when the AA, and I'm not knocking AA by no means, it just wasn't for me, but we get told that, hey, you've got to get out and you got to work 90 meetings in 90 days. You've got to get out and you got to work these steps. You got to get out and you got to do all these different things. You got to work, which I'm all about work, but you need to actually live your life around this addiction, that it becomes the part that you have to beat every day. So your schedule starts going around like your work, right? Say you work at a shipping or receiving dock. Sorry, I can't work right now at 3 o'clock. I got to get to a meeting, right? You start believing that's what you have to do. You need to package it around you every single day. Many of us think, right, that this is it for us. The addiction is it. We're not going to beat it anymore. This is the end all. Right, cool. I've got a day. I got one day of sobriety. I've got tomorrow. I'm gonna compile and put them on day after day after day after day. That's all you have to do. You've ultimately given up on the dreams, the goals, the purpose that you had when you were a little boy. It's all false. You could actually thrive and live a fulfilling life beyond the addiction. I didn't know that was possible until I'd made these changes in my life. So I let go of the baggage. When I worked these certain steps that I built for myself, when I looked at my life differently, when I saw the worth in myself, the self-love, to be able to let go, the fact that I'm able to clean up my side of the street and see life from a different angle, right? And here's what else it is. Instead of going to a meeting every day, because I'm not saying you don't need a meeting. Technology advancements are crazy right now. We can literally touch you from any internet, anywhere you're at any time you can pick up, and you can use whatever tools there to help keep you sober. There is no longer a reason for you to take 2-3 hours of your day and go put it into a meeting when you can catch something online. You know, rewiring your brain, it's not going to change the addiction, but it's going to change your life. What do I mean by that? I've never lived And I'd be bullshitting you if I said, hey man, my life is perfect. There's struggles. Just last night I was in here, Kevin and I working on this business, and there's a struggle that arises. Or there's a struggle with my being a single dad, or a struggle in the relationship I was in, or whatever happened, right? That's going to happen because that's life. But when you want this to be better, and you reframe the way that you think about things, when you start accepting things for what they are, what's in front of you, and you start letting go of the baggage, your life will change. You're going to make more money. You're going to have more time. You're going to have more freedom. You're going to have more energy. Life is just going to completely open up for you. Those dreams that you thought about, maybe it was opening a business, maybe it was climbing some mountains, maybe it was, I don't know, being a fireman. All these things you thought about when you were a kid, they will open up, because you can't have what you want until you let go of what you had. But we're not going to label ourselves as an addict, junkie, alcoholic. That shit's done. So here's what we covered today. Secret number 1, learn why your addiction doesn't have to be a disease and how thinking it is hurts you. Secret number 2, find out the real reason why you became addicted. Secret number 3, discover what you need to do to stay sober forever. Well, let me ask you a question. Are you ready to quit using? Are you ready to quit drinking? Are you ready to end it for all? What I want you to do is go ahead and type in yes right here. Go ahead and type in yes, and I'm going to take a sip of my water quick. Got some yeses going in there. Oh, awesome. I'm going to go on then. Look, you've got 2 options, option A and option B, and I'm going to give them to you real quick. Option A, you can do this on your own. Hopefully conquer all the struggles, beat these demons back, continue to live the life, maybe just white knuckle your way through this. It doesn't matter to me because I'm very good already at what I'm doing. It's up to you what you want. I'm okay with that. I appreciate you for checking this out. You know, the hiccups are going to come, and if that's the way you want to do it, that's cool. That's option number A, or option letter A. Option B, you could have me by your side to make sure you're doing it right. You could have a coach. We can accelerate through these roadblocks, help you goal set, help you find your purpose, help you find your passion, and live the life that you want. It doesn't matter to me which one you want. What matters to me is that you make a decision right now, because that's something that we need to do to move forward in our life. So which is it going to be? Go ahead and type in right now, option A or option B, and I'm going to wait a couple seconds. Got some B's in there? All right. A couple more. I want to introduce you to the alternative recovery program that I built, that I use, that's helped me not only put 2.5 years of sobriety together, but I've been able to get my son back. I only don't see him 6 days out of the month. I've built a business. We've made in the past 2.5 years, made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And I don't say that to brag. I say that because I wanted to really thrive. And this is what worked for me. These are the steps, the program, the code of conduct that I live my life by. So I'm going to introduce you to the Comeback Academy real quick. And what is the Comeback Academy? You're probably asking yourself right now, what is this guy talking about? This is different, So here's what you're going to do. This is what it is and how it's going to help you. You're going to discover the step-by-step process to maintain a thriving sobriety. What would that be like when you can actually beat the addiction, when you're putting sobriety, you're putting sober time together? And could you imagine what it's like when you're actually thriving? When you're feeling better, you're going to find out how to destroy all your self-doubt and develop rock-solid confidence. All the shit and baggage that beats you down, I'm going to show you how to eliminate that. You're going to learn how to rewire your brain to look at your addiction as a positive, not a negative. Yes, I'm bold enough to say that the struggles that were given to me turned my life into a purpose-filled, that they're all positives, right? At the time, they're negative, but they're all positive now. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Could you imagine what it's going to be like, what it's going to feel like when you look at your life and you're like, fuck, I was in this pit, but now I'm here, and it makes sense why I got this, and now I'm thriving, and I'm helping, sharing this journey with other people. You're going to discover the code of conduct that we live by so you can handle any trigger that comes your way. Triggers are going to come, right? But I have a proven way that worked for me and how to handle it, and I want to share that with you. You're going to learn the exact steps to a hope-filled and purposeful life, and you'll find out the secrets that will free you from anxiety and depression. Because I myself, after that little window inside of there, in the first 90 days, that set in. No money, no family, all the issues I was going through, the feelings the feeling of anxiety that I wasn't going to make it. I figured out how to handle that. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when you know how to do that? When these things are coming at you, it's going to be great, right? But you're probably thinking, right? Is this for me? Is this guy serious? Like, can this really work? Does an online, someone on the Facebook ads, is this true, right? Is it a scam? You're thinking, is it for you? Well, let me just show you a couple people who it's for. I really appreciate everything because of your help and program. Things have already started turning around. I've almost cut my withdrawal in half. I've become more confident and positive, and coworkers I've noticed. I've received a few compliments and also had a customer tell me they got an experience very different than anywhere else that they've been. Your program is genius and it works. Hey, bud, I just wanted to let you know that I think you saved my life. You're talking with me about sobriety and looking at it differently this time, rather than through the eyes of poor me, AA, and working to take on world rather than get by day to day has changed me. God put you in front of me for a reason, and I'm trying hard to do it this time. Thank you. I got to thank you, brother. Between your program, my faith in God, and asking him for help, I have seen a miraculous turnaround in my life and work. Being in recovery also, I can really relate to what you've been through. I was on the streets in May of this year and made a decision and haven't looked back. Thank you for helping me and inspiring me to be the best I can be. So here's what you're going to get with this. This is the Comeback Academy, right? You're going to learn how to stay sober without overhyped BS fluff, right? I'm not going to just cut in here and tell you a bunch of bullshit that isn't going to work for you. I'm going to tell you the meat and potatoes, which I hate that term, but I'm going to tell you the meat and potatoes exactly what worked for me. The step-by-step comeback roadmap that I used and hundreds of other men have used as well, the 7 Fs, okay? This is going to give you the life that you want. It doesn't have to be difficult. We keep it, if you can't see it right now, but on this board over here, we said, keep it stupid simple. The 7 Fs are basically that, a code of conduct that I live by. I'm going to share that with you to help you get your way through. That's a total value of $997. So here's what you're going to get. The Comeback Academy online sobriety program for $997. But look, let's just be honest about this disposable income real quick. I'm not asking you to go broke in this. I'm not asking you for anything more than you to take that money that you were willing to put into your demise, into the drugs, into the drinking, into the partying, into the poor decisions you made, right? I didn't even need to tell you, hey, take some of that money from the good things, from ice cream and going out. I'm just saying, hey, let's take some of that money that was holding you back and let's put it into your future. Let's actually make a change, right? You're going to get, here's the thing. As long as you're working, you're going to get some money back, right? You wouldn't be where you're at right now if you didn't have money. You couldn't be in this pit. So I'm just asking you not to go broke. Just take some of that money, give it a shot, believe in yourself, switch it over to something positive, and see if we can pull you out of that pit. I know I can, but it's up to you. Also going to throw in the 45-day transformation kit. So what's inside of this? This is actually like the exact plan that I worked for me to get through. Now, if I couldn't, I don't think I would have been able to get where I got if I didn't start building this. And at the time, I didn't know what I was building. But I worked this schedule and I started writing these things down. So it didn't make sense at that time. But everything is in this 45-day transformation kit. I'm also going to give you the comeback doctrine, which is the words that I live by, all the tools you need to get started. And when's the last time you wrote down your goals? I'm going to give you a book and give you no reason, no excuses to not manifest your goals into reality. So here's what you're going to get. Comeback Academy. It's an online sobriety program for $997. The Transformation Starter Kit. It's a 45-day step-by-step plan that I guarantee will work for $597. Look, we've got to break the old habits. The definition of insanity for us is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. How many meetings do you want to go to and come back out and do the same thing? How many days do you want to go through where you get to the end of it and you're just doing the same thing, and at the next morning you wake up and you're like, fuck, here I am again. The only way for you to make a change is to believe in yourself. And if that's going to take investing into yourself to break that habit, to get the new information, like I've already got my sobriety down. I've already know what I'm doing. I want to give that to you. So breaking that old habit, there was a time in my life when I was coming out or when I had to figure out how to do this. I invested thousands of dollars into myself to get here, right? I didn't know if that was the right thing to do, but I took a chance and it turns out it was the exact right step for me to take. So if you continue down the road of doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're going to get the same results. It's time for you to break the old habit, try something new, and educate yourself. And let's put this thing to bed for good. Also going to throw in the booze buster. Now, I'm not a scientist, but there is a scientific approach to this sobriety thing, right? There is we have some resources that we're going to give you. I'm going to show you how to learn how to curve off all the triggers, right? How to stop them, how to control them, different techniques that I use. You're going to discover how to rewire your neural pathways for a permanent transformation. Because that's the whole purpose of this, right? We want permanent change. We don't want half-assed change. We don't want 3-week change. We want permanent change. So we're going to give you the booze buster, which is everything that you need to make that permanent change. That's a total value of $497. So here's what you're going to get. Comeback Academy, online sobriety program for $997. The Transformation Starter Kit, 45-day step-by-step plan for $597. The Booze Buster, eliminating the triggers, $497. It's a total value of $2,091. But here's the thing. Information alone isn't going to give you the change that you need. You need a coach. You need someone who's been there. You need somebody to claw through the pits with you. You need somebody who's really going to show you the way out, right? These meetings that you've been to, they made sense because there was other people there. However, they were in a negative fashion, or maybe not all, but some were in a negative fashion. I could give you all the information that you want. I could load you up for free, give you all the resources, but the truth is you're not using what's out there right now anyways. So what I want to do is actually go one step further and be your coach, your mentor. I put everything into this, my heart and soul into this. Matter of fact, I walked away from all my other companies just to give this to you. And you can't do it with just the information. These videos need my help, and I want to be your mentor. That's why we're going to throw in the video coaching, okay? Weekly coaching calls in there in a group of men just like yourself to hold you accountable. This is a brotherhood. This is where we're going to go through. We're going to help you blast through whatever specific roadblocks that you're going through. Because the truth is, in your world that you live in every day, your problems aren't as bad as you think. There's other guys out there with the same, maybe worse programs going through something, okay? We're going to accelerate your transformation because we've already done that. I've been in so many situations where I know I can help pull you through, and I wanted to help you do this faster than you could on your own. If I can go in 2.5 years and build multiple businesses, get all these things back, why can't you? It doesn't matter where you're at. It only matters where you're going. So we're going to throw in that video coaching, which is my time. It's a lot of my energy. You get to come, you get to hang out. It's going to be a great place to hold you accountable, to meet some brothers and really get that long-lasting change. It's a total value of $997 as well. So here's what you're going to get. Comeback Academy, online sobriety program, $997. Transformation Starter Kit, the 45-day step-by-step plan for $597. The Booze Buster, eliminate the triggers for $497. The video coaching, weekly group calls, $997. That's a total value of $3,088. It's a lot of money, right? And that's why we come to this one. Here's the thing. We've been making excuses for ourselves for so long. We've not ever just looked in the mirror and been completely honest with ourselves. We've been able to tell ourselves excuse after excuse after excuse is why we keep drinking, why we keep using, why we keep living this path of destructiveness that we just don't want to go on anymore. So right now you have two options. And I know what's going to happen. Some of you guys are going to continue down the road and just continue to make the excuses. Other of you guys are going to make the investment yourself. You're going to find the money. Those are going to be the action takers. That's the guy that I want to do it. That's the guy that wants to actually thrive from their life. So for me right now, I'm already good at my journey. I'm already going down the path that I want. It doesn't matter to me which one you take. What matters to me is that you take one. And if you decide to take the excuse route, I'll be here when you're ready. I'll be here when you get back. And if you're ready to invest right now, you'll find the money. You'll make something happen. Also going to throw in this brotherhood support group. So this is the group called the Comeback. It's actually the coolest thing in my life right now that I'm doing, right? I mean, besides being a dad, but it's actually one of the most fun things that I really enjoy doing. It's a group of 24/7. It literally goes nonstop. We're adding 30 to 50 members a day. There's thousands of helpful tips on there. The other day I had a post that had 393 comments in there. It's a place where they're going to pick you up when you're down and celebrate you when you're winning. All the friendships and support that you need there is literally this movement is going to be worldwide. I write down every day in my goals that the Comeback movement is a global movement, and that's where we're going next. We're taking this thing huge. But the value of this thing is literally priceless. I get information out of there, right? I've done all these cool things, and there's people that I'm learning from that are not even where I'm at, but they're doing something different. And it's just amazing to put yourself around like-minded individuals who have one goal in mind: complete transformation and cutting the addiction, cutting the crap out of their life, and living the life of sobriety that they truly want. So here's what you're going to get. Comeback Academy, it's a $997 value. The Transformation Starter Kit, $597 value. The Booze Buster, $497. Video coaching, $997. And the Brotherhood group, which is priceless. But you can get started right now for $297. And here's the thing. That's only 81 cents per day. You can't tell me that you can't go find $1 a day to put into yourself, to find the proven methods that will help you blast through this addiction, that will help you actually get the long-lasting results that you want. I know if I had to go walk around the streets right now, every day I could pick up 81 cents. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but that's how easy it is to get long-lasting change. So for $297, if you're ready to make the change, click the link below right now. We'll get hooked up. We'll get you on this journey. We'll make something happen, and I can't wait to help you change your life. So who's this work for? I'm going to read you a couple more testimonials. I just wanted to write you a note of encouragement. I was working in a car dealership for a while in the internet department. I was scared to death to move to sales. I always had this dream of owning my own moving company during that time. While a position opened up at my dealership for a salesperson, I was going to take it. So I looked up videos to teach me how to sell the best way possible. I stumbled upon you on Facebook on my suggested videos and watched a few videos and found your podcast. Listening to the entrepreneurs on there pushed me to write a business plan and pursue my dream of owning a moving company. Your upbeat and comeback attitude inspired me, encourages me daily more than you can ever know. I now own my own company called the Integrity Moving Company here in Tampa, Florida. We're rocking it. We've got a 90% close rate on every lead he purchases. Thank you for daily getting up and inspiring others. Just know that you've done a major work in one fan's life. Mark Jennison is the real deal. In this business, it's important to be available and present. He's always present and consistent. I've been working with Mark for over 1 year now, and his program is the truth. Bro, I have a bag packed to head to the hospital, drunk and high out of my mind, crying like a little girl because you, sir, are the truth. We chatted briefly. I'm going through everything you've been through, and I admire you for coming out the other side a much better man. I'm so close to death and have been there for 15 plus years. It's all I know. Feelings of resentment, like I'm unworthy, like I don't matter. You inspire me, but I can't take the first step. But goddamn, I want to take this last one. This guy's done a major change in his life. Just wanted to put that note out there. As a coach, mentor, friend, you're making me better. I feel alive, like I'm beginning to do more than just surviving. I'm thriving. I've been more focused and way more aware of who I really am. We can only grow as large as we believe our potential to be. Mark, what you are doing is helping people to see more and seek more for themselves. I love the accountability and the motivation to keep going until we reach our goals. I'm glad you are on my team. I am a comeback on the come up.
You don't have to be homeless or broke to be broken. I was broken because I didn't have a father growing up. And addictions, not everybody's addictions are to drugs and alcohol. See, I was addicted to good job. I'm proud of you, son. To anybody that would say it to me. I lived in prison in my own mind, imprisoned by my fear of change. It's not just some building with bars on the window. In depression, some people can be in a room full of other people and feel like they're the only person in the room. I lived a life of depression because I didn't know how to change. But the Comeback Academy changed all that for me. So my name is Tim Bowman, and I'm a comeback.
So just imagine what your life's going to be like for a minute when you know exactly how to live sober and thriving life. When you're finally able to have that vision. Whoa. When you're finally able to see that vision that you truly want for yourself and have it plus 10, 10x, 100x this. Could you imagine what that's going to be like? When you overcome all that self-doubt and develop indestructible self-confidence. Could you imagine what it's like to be able to walk into a room, the version of the man you want to be, own it, not just own it, but be a gladiator, a warrior, a man that's on a quest to be the king of his castle because he beat this addiction and he's thriving for his wife, family, kids, friends, community, neighbors, whatever it may be. Could you imagine how awesome that's going to feel? What will your life be like when you're able to rewire your brain and turn that addiction into a positive? Everything that you've been told is not necessarily negative. There is a positive way out of this. You're able to reach and sustain all your life goals. These goals, like it's not that we run out of goals, right? I was reading about this morning. We don't just run out of goals. We run out of time. Could you imagine what it's going to be like before you come before your final day, before you take that breath, to be able to look back and know you achieved every goal, starting with beating sobriety one day at a time by living this comeback way of life? What will that make for you, a difference for you and your family? What would that do for your relationship? What would that do for yourself? What would that do for your self-image? This last question is my favorite because I had to ask it to myself over and over. What would that do for your overall happiness? Could you imagine what it would feel like to go through every day happy? And I know that sometimes I used to think that happiness was like something I didn't deserve. But that was a self-limiting belief that I told myself. Could you imagine what it's going to be like when you can truly grab this happiness? You can feel the way you want to feel, say the things you want to say, enjoy the sun, enjoy a day at the park with your kid, whatever it may be. What will that happiness look like for you, for your family, for everyone that loves you? Look, it's time to say goodbye. We've been battling these addictions for so long. It's time to get rid of it. These chains that have been holding on to us, holding us back, taking us deeper and deeper, ruining what people think about us, which ultimately doesn't matter because that can be rebuilt. But it's time to say goodbye to all that negative crap. If you don't make a change in yourself right now, when will you? It's time to cut it goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. Let's release the addictions. Let's thrive. Let's move forward. Let's make long-lasting change in our life. Because this is the choice right now. It's either now or later. I mentioned this earlier. You're either going to find an excuse, right? Or the time right now is you're going to say, this is it. This is my call. This is my wake up. This is what I needed to hear. This guy has the truth. You've already seen who this works for. I want you to be one of these people we talk about. So what's it going to be? Look yourself in the mirror right now and ask yourself this question. Do I want this now or do I want this later? I can't answer for you. To me, it ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is that you're ready to decide. What's it going to be? So you can get started right now for $297. Like I said, it's less than $81 or 81 cents a day. All you have to do is click the link below, or you can actually text us at the office at 262-723-2780 if you have any questions, any concerns, any thoughts, anything that we can do to help you out. I'm here. I've got a staff that's helping people, but it's $297. And you might be skeptical, right? You might think that you shouldn't have to pay for this stuff. But I can tell you, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on working on myself. The best thing I ever did was find a coach, a mentor, learn this different side of life that was out there, reframe my mind into positive mindset, because I can beat stuff so much easier now. So it's $297. Let me ask you right now, is your life worth $297? I think it's worth way more. It's up to you to decide. Are you ready to pull the trigger? Click the link below. Message us if you need me. Otherwise, thank you for joining the webinar. Thank you for staying with me. I appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll talk to you soon.